Hi, happy Tuesday. Quick talk. Not going to be super focused on football because last night there was only one game. So it was the Monday night game. The Kansas City Chiefs are still perfect, which, I mean, good for them. Probably not so good for everyone else. Only slightly good for me because Travis Kelce is my fantasy tight end. So woo. But no, I actually wanted to focus this video on the unfortunate reality that the southern United States, we've been dealing with some pretty nasty weather past couple of weeks. As many of you all know, Hurricane Helene made landfall and ended up causing a lot of damage, massive damage to parts of Western North Carolina. It's going to take probably years to recover. You know, roads are completely gone. I don't know what Western North Carolina is really going to look like once, more recovery is able to be done. But anywho, now we're seeing Hurricane Milton prepare, it's going to be making landfall soon in Florida. And I just want to give a gentle but firm reminder that if you are deciding to comment on anyone's TikTok or Instagram video or even a Facebook post, whatever your preferred social media is, please lead with compassion and grace. Especially if the video or post is kind of showing that the person is staying in the storm for whatever reason, and they're documenting it and they're sharing it. It's real easy to be like, why didn't you leave when you are not the one having to leave? If anything, for me, seeing the way Helene has it ravaged the mountains in Appalachia, it really reminded me that I need to get an emergency preparedness plan for myself and my family. And because if I was told that I needed to evacuate within 24 to 36 hours, I can only imagine the amount of stress that may be. Now, if you were someone who was prepared, you might be able to take a deep breath and be like, okay, we can do this. But the reality is, if you're being told to evacuate, especially if you're saying you're in a mandatory evacuation area, but say you don't have a car, or if you do have a car, trying, to get gas is almost impossible because now, everyone's trying to get gas. So gas is becoming scarce. If you want to fly out, well, now the airlines are upcharging. So that's fun. Say you have pets and now all of a sudden you're like, okay, wait, wherever I go needs to be accommodating to my pets. Or maybe you're tasked with the unfortunate reality of what if I can't bring, that's a lot of questions for one person or a family, to be asking themselves. And then you share a video and everyone's like, why aren't you leaving? It's one thing if you're a tourist and, I'm seeing a lot of videos about folks are validly frustrated about people still deciding to go to Disney. That is bonkers. That is absolutely bonkers. I'm talking about the residents who are literally potentially not able to evacuate. It's not easy to do anything in this country. And I think the questions people should be asking, specifically of, local, state, and national government, is what are y'all doing to ensure that the residents you are telling to evacuate are able to evacuate at little to no cost to them? How are we looking out for each other when it comes to these natural disasters that are fueled by climate change and all the billionaires who are, gas, oil, the fact that the United States government is continuously sending weaponry, bombs, to the state of Israel, and Israel is deciding to just bomb all of Palestine, and now is bombing Lebanon. You have genocides happening in Sudan and Congo because of our phones and so much of our technology. The resources come from somewhere. It's all connected. And, you know, I guess in a way, you know, I see a lot, there's been some talk about people trying to figure out, oh, you know, the weather is man-made and the hurricanes are man-made. Well, you know what? Maybe in the sense that a lot of decisions that the U.S. government and our, you know, the businesses are making, and, you know, executives of those businesses are making, sure, maybe this shit is man-made, because the decisions of a few are impacting all of us, whether you're in the U.S. or the rest of the globe, and it's killing the planet. And in turn, now we have these massive destructive storms that are going to affect so many people. But I urge you, if you are someone who is like, you know, oh, well, who gives a fuck about the South? You know, the South is just filled up with, you know, a bunch of Republicans and conservatives and rednecks. You know, they all have crazy laws anyway, so why bother? If that's how you were feeling, I just want you to know you are not nearly as progressive or as leftist as you think you are. Because at the end of the day, for me, having been born and raised in the South is one of the most diverse places in the U.S. There's so much rich cultural history here. So when you are saying that, like, oh, well, why should I care that, you know, a state could get wiped out or washed away, it's like, that's an extremely fucked up point of view. And furthermore, just because it's not happening to you doesn't mean that it can't or won't happen to you. So, again, maybe you should be asking the questions of, if this happened and I was there, like, what is the government doing to ensure that everyone can get to safety? What are we doing to show that we actually care about each other as people? Because at the end of the day, a lot of this boils down to seeing each other as humans and caring. And the unfortunate reality is that a lot of people don't care. And you should honestly be asking yourself why that is, rather than getting on the internet and social media and being like, well, why didn't you leave? Just think about everything it takes to leave someplace. That's all I got. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day wherever you are. And I may or may not be talking to you later. Bye.